Hello everyone, welcome back again to Angela's Craft Room. Today I'm using once again the Serene Garden Stamp Set with the garden scene framelits. So I'm going to be mainly using this really beautiful big corner image, and we're going to be making a gatefold card. So this is the original one I've made. So I just used some of the Tea Room DSP, and I stamped and coloured with my blends the butterflies, flower and bird, and then applied them to the front of the card. But this time I'm going to do it all in one, basically one colour, and I think it works out a lot better. And then I've stamped and coloured that beautiful corner image inside, and then because it takes up so much room, but it's just such a perfect fit, and it's a beautiful image to colour with those blends alcohol markers. And then on the back I've applied a piece of Whisper White, and I just stamped the word thank you, so you've got all this room to write on. So that's the card for today, and so we'll get started. So to start with, I've got a piece of Blushing Bride, and it measures 5.5 inches by 8.5. And what I've just a couple of hints with scoring, so these meet perfectly. The first card I did, I scored at 2 1/8 of an inch and 6 3/8 of an inch, and you can see when it's closed it's just got that little gap there. So what I did with the second one was I scored it at 2 1/8 of an inch, and then I turned it around and scored the other side at 2 1/8 of an inch, and when you close that, it's perfect, it fits perfectly. And then on the back I did the Whisper White. I cut a piece of Whisper White which is 4 1/8 of an inch by 5 3/8 of an inch, and that goes on the back, and I just stamped the word thank you. And just another tip, when I do these and I've burnished them really well with my bone folder down those sides, what I do is I take just a normal piece of photocopy paper and I pop it in there like that, and I just put something heavy on it, and I leave it like that overnight, and it flattens it, and it will help to keep your gatefold card closed. So once we've got all the panels and everything on it, I'll decide then whether I'm going to, I think I'll put a belly band on this one, just with a piece of ribbon, just make a belly band out of a piece of ribbon. So I'll show you how to do that. So to start with, we need 4 pieces of Blushing Bride cardstock. So I've got 4 of those, and they measure 1 7/8 of an inch by 5 3/8 of an inch. So you'll need 4 of those. And then the DSP I'm using, isn't it beautiful, that pink, I think they might be camellia flowers that we get here in Australia. That is from the Petal Promenade DSP, which is one of the new ones that came out on the 1st of June in 2018. So I'm just going to glue each one onto the Blushing Bride cardstock, and we don't need that much glue when it's just DSP. So I've already coloured the centerpiece to go inside the card, because I didn't think you needed to watch me colour that inside panel, because it does take a little time. I don't like to rush when I'm colouring with my blends. I like to take my time. And you might have something else that you can colour with. You might use colouring in pencils, you might use Copics, but I use the Stampin' Up blends and I just love them. I just can't wait. I'm just waiting at the moment for all my new colours to turn up, and it's literally the only colouring I use is with my Stampin' Up blends now. I just find myself reaching for them every time. Oops. So sometimes it's a bit hard to see which way is the right way up. So I've just got one more to go. So don't saturate your DSP with glue. You can see that I'm not putting that much on. So that's those 4 panels. So then we'll just grab our base card, and I find it easier to lay it flat when I'm applying these, and just decide which ones, because they are slightly different. I really like this one. So I'll pop that one on the front. So we'll do those 2 first. So that's just a little bit of glue, a bit more because it's cardstock. And then I'm just going to try and level it with the top of that white piece. And then we're just going to glue this one down. It's such an easy card, the gatefold card, but it's just something different instead of the plain fold. So we'll just pop that one down there. And you know, some people don't put the panels on the inside as well, but I like to, because not only does it finish off your card nicely, it also it adds to stability to your card as well. So the next step, we're just going to put that one that way, and that one that way on the inside of the card. So just pop the way I want. No, I want to go that way. It's moving on me. So that one just goes down there. Just try and centre it as much as you can. As long as it's straight, that's the main thing. And then just this last one. And then we've got the centre to do. And this will fit in a normal envelope if you're posting it. So that needs to go like that, doesn't it? I reckon it's just really beautiful DSP, that. Just really love it. So, let's grab my chamois, just get that glue off my fingers. So now, what I want to do is this inner piece in here. So I need a piece of Blushing Bride, and that measures 4 1/8 of an inch by 5 3/8 of an inch, and that's just going to go exactly in there. Actually, I will glue that in now. And when I said earlier I'm doing it all in one colour, I meant dominantly all in one colour, like it's basically all Blushing Bride colour. And then I'm just going to pop that in the centre. I mean, you could make your white piece that I've coloured on bigger and not have this piece, but as I said earlier, I just think it adds stability when the card's standing, and it does finish it off nicely as well. So you can see by me having that in that photocopier with a heavy item on it overnight that it just wants to keep going back into the fold, which is really good. So I just have to work out. Do I want it that way? No, I want it this way. It's just one of those designs that the flowers are all in amongst each other. Yep, have it that way. Okay, so we'll have it that way. Now I've already stamped and coloured the centerpiece because it does take a little time, and I didn't think you wanted to really sit there and watch me just colour with my blends. So the leaves I've just used Old Olive. The flowers I've used Pink Pirouette, and I know the Pink Pirouette blend marker has been retired, but I've still got mine and it's still very inky, so I still use it. And then I coloured a little butterfly in there, and I'm going to show you how I did the butterfly. It's the only thing I'm going to show you that I coloured. So I've just got both of my Pink Pirouette. You can use whatever colour you want. Now, I might just have to bring you in so you can see. So I just used the light one because this is such a small butterfly, and I just go over the entire butterfly with the very pale pink. Like that. Then I grab my darker one, and just with these little bits in here, I just pop the darker there, and then I just blend it out. Like that. Let's pop the cap back on there. And then what I use is I've got a white uni ball pen, and I just do the dots. Just do the dots down there, and then I just grab my Wink of Stella and I'm just giving it a bit of a squeeze off camera. You're not missing out on anything. All I'm doing is, because this one's just about run out, so what I do with that is I'm just going to apply some Wink of Stella just in those highlighted areas. And normally I would add quite a bit of Wink of Stella and I just let it dry, but I've just added that. Then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to add that to my, oh, better go out again. So I'm just going to grab the glue and be careful trying not to smudge it. And I'm just applying some to the back of the butterfly. And it's come out in a blob again. So just grab a, just grab a cotton bud and just swoosh it all around. So that way it goes right out to the edges. I nearly dropped it. Now I just have to get it, I don't want to drop it onto that. So I'm just going to put it about there. That's where I want it. And just when you're colouring this, like, you just have to be careful on these really fine lines. But I find it best, I used to use VersaFine Onyx Black, but now I've gone back to using Memento Black because I found the blends were bleeding a little bit when I had really fine areas to colour, and I find the Memento Black doesn't seem to make my blends bleed as much as the Onyx Black in the VersaFine did. So, and then for the leaves here, I just go over the whole leaf in the pale Old Olive blends, and then all I do, I'll just grab them and show you. So just pretend that wasn't coloured. So what I do is I just coloured over that whole thing in the pale, and I did this on every leaf, and then I just chose which side I wanted, and I just added a little bit of dark, trying not to go too close to the edges, and then I took my light one again and then I just blended that out, but just on one side of the leaf. So you've got your whole leaf, and I just did it on one side, and then you can just blend it out over to the other side of the leaf. And that's how I got my light and shade for my leaves. But yeah, it did take a little bit of time to colour, so I thought it was best to colour it off camera. So then I'm going to just glue that into the centre. But the Serene Garden, this corner image, is just perfect for this kind of card. The gatefold card. It's such a beautiful image to colour. So then I'm just going to, without dropping it, hopefully. So I'm just going to glue that to the centre. So I just want it to be straight. Like that. And then close. And then what I did was I just made a belly band with some ribbon. This is metallic ribbon, Petal Pink, which is in the new catalogue from the 1st of June 2018. I just applied a little bit of tear and tape on the back to join the ribbon, and that's how strong it is. It's just really strong. And then what I did was I stamped and cut out the bird, and I just coloured her mainly in the pink pirouette, and I used ivory for her body, and I did do some highlighting through her wings and added some Wink of Stella. So then I'm just going to take this piece of tear and tape off, and I just hope this belly band's going to fit now. I've put all those layers on. So I want the let's see exactly where that, because I want the ribbon to go exactly on to the tear and tape. Okay, so it's not going to come off. Now when applying that, you just need to bend that corner in a bit, and then just slide that down. And you don't have to do the belly band if you didn't want to, but you could also put a sentiment on the front instead of the bird if you wanted to, and you just slide it until you get it exactly where you want it. But yeah, it does finish it off, and it does look nice with the belly band around it. and the bird. And I didn't want a big belly band because I didn't want to cover up the beautiful DSP because it was so lovely. And then remember, you've still got all that room on the back to do your message. So that's the gatefold card for today. And this was the original one that I didn't do a belly band for that one. And I stamped and cut out these images, but I do like this one better that has, it's just all in one tone colour really. So I hope that gives you some ideas for your gatefold card. And until next time, happy crafting.